fuckers. What's up, Lee Syatt? Where the fuck you been?
What's the question?
You've been with the little Mexican chick kidnapped you all weekend. You're
Hell
fucking
yeah.
full of tamales.
Oh, they're so good. They're good, aren't they?
Good. Those chili cheese ones were delicious.
Oh my god! And I didn't know it was a Christmas thing for Mexican people. So I like our friend brought you some too.
Silent Bob.
Yeah,
Rodrigo.
Yeah, Rodrigo brought you some too, and fuck, they're good.
They use them as presents. It's fucking tremendous.
Well, they make 80 of them. Her mom made like 100.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How many did you eat?
Like 5, I think.
That's it?
I went there. It was Christmas Eve. We had those for dinner, and then I had like a couple the next day. But I have 4 in my house.
You had a nice time, huh? It's
yeah.
a different culture, isn't it? They fucking really work on.
Have you ever seen End of Watch?
End of Watch. What's that?
It's a cop movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and that Mexican dude.
No.
And they're talking about how it's just for Jewish people, family is important, but it's like the holidays. You don't. At least for my family, I wasn't with them at all times. There's always someone at Paula's house. There's always a cousin or someone, and it's if you like them, it's great. Like when I have some cousins who I'm not huge fans of, but it's not that fun. But when it's people who you like and enjoy spending time with, it's fun.
You did a traditional Jewish dinner every year for Hanukkah and all that.
Yeah, with brisket and latkes and then Passover, and it was great. I love my family.
Any brisket
but it's
left at your house?
Fuck yeah, in the freezer. In the freezer, my mom made a bunch.
How many latkes?
Yeah.
You still got latkes
in the freezer? Yeah, fuck
You're
yeah.
a filthy motherfucker. What's happening, Brody Stevens?
Great to be. Oh,
Brody Stevens.
You got it.
818 representing this motherfucker.
Yeah, I feel it.
Where'd you model at? Beirut?
I've done some in Serbia.
Serbia.
I have a photo shoot with ISIS on Friday. They're in town accepting portfolios.
That is kind of fucked up. There's a lot of people going to ISIS, like Canadians and British people and
good.
A lot of white
they get
people.
their fucking head chopped off. Fuck them. Don't come crying to me. Don't let me see your fucking pathetic parents crying. We knew he was weird. He always liked hummus. Fuck you. That's what you get now.
I mean, why would you go over there? I mean, I understand that there's health workers and aid workers, but it's just always the guys are getting the head chopped off. They're very, open-minded, which is great, but it's kind of what maybe got them
head
into
chopped
trouble.
Off, see?
Yeah.
If they would just been stupid and mind their fucking business, they still would have had a head, But now they're walking around with no fucking head. The parents are crying because they got to be fucking,
They're not walking.
No, well, whatever the fuck they're
Joey.
doing. Well, maybe they are. Maybe they're extras on Walking Dead.
Like
Who the
that
fuck
zombie
knows?
stuff.
Yeah, like zombie stuff. Maybe they're still living to not have a head.
People are desensitized. I hate to get. I saw Walking Dead, and it's over the top. I guess, right? Is that the fun about it? It's over or is it the story?
I don't watch that shit. That shit scares the fuck out
Yeah,
of
me too.
Oh, it
that
scares
shit scares
you?
the fuck. I don't want to see that craziness. When I was a kid, listen, first off, when I was about 13, I think I had a window pane acid. Not a window pane, I'm lying to you people. I took like blood acid, and me and like 8 gorillas went down and watched Dawn of the Dead.
What's code word for gorilla? Something?
His
Buddies,
friends.
people who
Oh,
are
okay.
fucking
Well, I don't know what kind of podcast
They're
this
not
is.
usual people. They're not, my friends were not the usual Gentiles.
You thought you
I
meant
got
black
sandals and went to the Starbucks with and talked about, oh my God, the interview was such a great movie. Those were not my friends.
Was it a good film? Did you hear?
I don't know. No, I
It
heard
it was pretty bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought.
Oh,
it
you
was gonna
saw
be.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, go
I
ahead,
heard
Joey.
it sucked. That was the whole thing. So these were people, you went and you saw fucking, there was one scene where the black guy goes under the helicopter and the helicopter chops his head off and he's still alive. And you giggle for an hour and that's it. And then you go home and you have nightmares for a week and you never got to see, I forget the guy's name that used to do those. Dawn of the Deads, and he did all those movies when I was growing up. And they were kind of weird, and I liked them. But I don't know, a TV show every fucking week with zombos walking around and people shooting them, it's not for me. It's really not for me. I don't know. I get nightmares.
I don't. That stuff is so. It's just so much content on TV. You have to keep up. You have to binge watch, and you have to talk about it. But there's just so much content. I don't know how you. I started getting stressed 10 years ago when you would go to the video store and there's DVDs everywhere in your face. Now it's just, it's too much almost, and I've pulled away. I've become a hermit.
Do you have Netflix and Roku and all
Yeah,
that?
I have Netflix. It's
What
great.
do you think? Yeah, pretty fucking cool, huh?
It is. Let's be honest. You can get locked in, but I've been bad recently not watching films, not reading books. I'm trying to actually appreciate things. It's like I go on the internet, but it's like Yahoo, Drudge, UK Mail, Yahoo, UK Mail, email, I'm just like wasting time and I feel like I need to take action. And part of that is seeing movie. I saw Nightcrawler.
How was that?
I loved it.
That's Jake.
It looks great.
Yeah, that looks really good.
But the thing is, say what you want about the interview, it'll be interesting to see how much money it makes.
It made a ton of money already. They yanked the public again.
Did it?
They got Cosby'd again.
Cosby.
That's what it's called, getting Cosby'd. You get lullabied. You get put in a sleeping pill.
Yeah.
Whether it's the iPhone standing online or whether it's something, you get swamied.
Yeah.
And now they're getting more obvious. I mean, we're talking to a nation that believed that Osama bin Laden existed and is dead, and that they shot him and threw him off a fucking ship.
What do you
Didn't
think
they?
happened?
Listen, these are American people. We fucking show people our fish.
Or fish.
When we go fishing and we catch a fish, we show people our fish. We come from a society that when we kill a bear, we take pictures of that bear and send them home.
They do.
So you're not going to send a picture of an Arab that blew up the World Trade Center?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they wanted to cause
Really?
problems.
No,
Let's just do it
Get
and
the
get it
fuck
over
out
with.
of here. Get the fuck out of here. I never saw that guy. I never saw that guy walking around. I never saw him in the States on a plane. Fidel, I saw. They did a documentary. This guy, I never saw this fucking guy. This guy
videos
could
of
have
him a while
been
ago.
made up.
I hear he's
as
in-
far as we know. This guy could have been made the fuck up. This could have been a whole made-up fucking thing with some picture of some little Arab guy walking around. He's still alive, and now people come up to him going, "You look like Osama bin Laden." He's like, "No, that wasn't me." They took pictures of that fucking guy. You know, we shoot a goldfish, we take a picture of it. If we go hunting and we shoot a lion, we take a picture of it. This guy was the world's biggest lion. And
Yeah.
we didn't take a picture of it? Really? Come on, save that for somebody else. Save that for, oh yeah, because I have a...
So you think he's around somewhere?
I don't think he's around. I just think that I don't even know if he ever fucking existed.
What?
I don't even know if the guy ever existed.
He was a hologram?
Who knows? Who knows? We don't know. Think about it. We don't fucking know.
I mean, they have videos of him from a while ago, but
videos.
yeah.
I don't,
Maybe he's been dead for a while. He did have kidney problems. Who knows?
Yeah, I think he's an Uber driver out in Glendale.
Maybe.
Been waiting to get that bit in for about
Yeah,
90
you know,
seconds.
maybe.
You saw me trying to fight to get that in.
I mean, it's just, well, you know, I don't believe it till I see it. I'm from Missouri. I'm from the motherfucking show me state.
You are? I thought you were
You got
from...
it. I'm from Jersey, but I'm from Missouri.
Where's
I'm
Missouri?
I'm an American. So that means
So
I'm from
am I.
Missouri. We're all from every state. You're an American. We
So why
claim every
you from
state.
Missouri?
No, because it's the show me motherfucking state.
Got it.
And
I'm
you have to
catching
show
up.
me. I'm an American. Show me.
Me too.
Show me a picture of Osama bin Laden with his eyeball blown out. Let me ask you this. When Mexicans were killing fucking people, weren't they putting them, cutting their heads off on YouTube?
Yeah.
Listen, we should have seen the picture.
I don't
of
think
Osama
they
bin
did
Laden.
because they didn't want to inflame any... You know, they didn't want to inflame the Muslim community or the terrorists.
So let's inflame Americans and show these fucking
when you
slipper-wearing motherfuckers
I don't think...
pulling our heads back and slicing our heads back. What hurts an American more? Seeing these guys in orange suits on television getting humiliated with their parents begging for their lives? What would piss Americans off more? Showing an American getting his cut off or showing a picture of Osama bin Laden fucking dying?
Well, that would
bleeding from
fire
his head?
people up.
Well,
They
how-
would get excited.
Sure.
Yeah, well, when you think about it, they showed video of whatever his name. Who was the old guy in Iraq? I'm fucking high. What's his name?
Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, they showed Hussein, and then they showed that Gaddafi guy getting stabbed in the asshole.
Come on, guys.
But that was viral on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
still, it went viral. Nothing else goes viral. Osama bin Laden. What my point
All
is,
right.
we're
So he could be
we're
around.
becoming Cosby'd, and we're getting Cosby'd by everything. We're getting Cosby'd by
What does that mean exactly?
getting put to sleep and fucked in the ass.
Whoa!
We're getting lullabied and put to sleep and fucked in the ass.
By
Society. Who
I
knows?
agree.
Who knows? Who
Okay,
knows what it is?
so-
you know. So now you're putting body armor on the cops. You're putting cameras on the cops. You're putting cameras on the cops. Didn't we see the film of the black guy putting his hand up saying, "I can't breathe"?
yeah.
So what do we need a camera for? We already got the proof that they choked him and they killed him.
Right.
And he still got let loose.
What do you mean he got let loose?
The cop.
They got innocent. They were innocent. They were pronounced
They didn't even
innocent.
Right.
They didn't even get to that part. They just said they weren't going to charge him.
They weren't gonna
What do you
charge
think about
him.
what the cops are doing in New York? Like turning their back on the mayor.
Well, I don't know what de Blasio did. I don't get the whole story.
Yeah.
I've been busy with
I
Christmas.
do. All I do is read the news.
So why?
You know,
they-
I'm talking about like how I'm not going to movies or reading books. I'm addicted to the news.
Right, but you're paying attention to the most important thing that you should be paying attention to.
News and comedy.
Who gives a fuck about the interview when you're paying attention to comedy and what's important to you, the news? When I wake up in the morning at 6 and I throw on the news and they're talking about a family got shot to death in Glendale. That's got nothing to do with me. I feel bad for the families, but it's not what I want to wake up to at 6 in the fucking morning. I don't want to wake up to the first 3 stories in the news about a car accident with 6 kids in the car, 3 kids who got drunk, and a mom and a grandfather who got shot. 2 Mexicans got shot at Guadalajaraville somewhere, or something. It could be black people. I don't want to hear about.
Could you send me the link, please?
To what?
All those great stories.
So what we're trying to do is, you want to hear news that works for you. I want to hear. So I put CNN on, and they tell me all this shit again that I don't want to hear. So all the news outlets are telling me. I want to hear 10% of the 100% bullshit they're telling me.
Well, you got to go on the internet for that.
Right,
you're gonna get the real deal. I mean, less not as not censored, but you know what I'm saying. Like the regular news, it's kind of. I'm not saying it's down the middle. It's not down the middle. You have Fox, and then I guess you have everybody else. But you go on the internet and get to read the comments.
Well, the beautiful thing about the internet, and it's, for years I always heard that media controls everything. And I used to giggle at that. Now it controls everything, but it controls everything in not a sly way. Like, they tell you the news that you need to know about that black kid that got shot by the white cop.
Right, there's a lot of that.
That's the first thing that comes up.
It pulls me in.
That's the first thing that comes up.
I'm there.
Now. Or the white guy who got shot by the black suspect in Arizona.
I'm clicking.
So it's like, now you don't hear about school shootings no more. No more school shootings. At this time last year, 2 years ago, school shootings were huge. The year when Batman, the fucking idiot, got shot, the Batman movie theater. It's so weird what they want you to hear and what they don't want you to hear.
So you're saying that kind of stuff is still going on?
Sure,
those kind of shootings?
Well,
like a mass shooting?
I don't know, but we don't hear about them.
I don't think...
It's like we don't hear about them fast enough. It's like some news is 1960, some news is 2015. They determine what comes up to the top first.
You don't go ahead, Lee.
Oh, no, I'm just... It's good because you have that at your fingertips, but the issue is... You don't really know what to believe a lot of times because there are right-leaning, there's left-leaning, and there's a lot of websites now doing fake news stories.
Are you serious?
Like, not even just The
It's
Onion.
called The Onion.
No, they have...
You beat me to it, Lee.
They have The Onion, which was hysterical today. They said they were going to wear a patch for all of Roethlisberger's victims, the Pittsburgh quarterback who, assaulted a bunch of girls. But they have these websites that are posing as real news, and they'll write a story that's so close to being true, it could be true, but it gets all... a lot of people have messed up, and... Like today, they had one there's going to be a new season of Breaking Bad, and it's harder to know what's real and what's not real.
I don't look at none of that shit. Those things they put on Facebook,
Right.
I don't click none of those things, nothing, because you could tell those things are just fake.
I go to Drudge, ESPN, UK Mail. Yahoo is like cheeseball-y. Some of their stories aren't very good, and I do look at comments. Who go? You go straight to comments, and you see, and you understand that it's. I'm not going to say it's a racist country. I guess it is, but it's like every comment is kind of conservative.
On what?
On most news stories, I that are involving, like culture stuff, black, or it's always blame Obama, and then it's. Racist. It's just a bunch of that.
Are you racist?
And I love reading it. You got it. Thumbs up. Yes, anonymous. Kidding.
What's been going on with you? You been behaving? Everything's good in your world?
Yeah, I'm good. It's like, I think working's important for me. And you would say that even actors, they go up and down. They always talk about not having a consistent schedule. But I also think being a comedian, you can kind of make up for those downtimes, and also podcasting. Things have changed, but you know how the old adage.
You're always, listen, as a comic, as an actor, you could always be busy. Like, I could be busy 24 hours a day and still not get all my work done. Like, just writing material. How much of that takes up your time? And some days you get something, and some days you get nothing. Some days you write all day to get a fucking line. But at least you get that line. You're marketing yourself. You're booking yourself. You're trying to get spots. You're trying to stay healthy and do kettlebells or run or get sun. There's such a process. It's just not, I remember when I first watched comedy and said, this is what I think I want to do. I wish I would have taken a test and saved my notebook. I thought it was just writing jokes, and I had my idea completely wrong about writing was. I thought writing was, I just write this and go up there and they're going to howl, And you went on stage. And when you get into comedy at first, you do that. And then there's no book to tell you what you do as a comic. Like, if I lived in Michigan, my day as a comic would be completely different than my day in L.A., correct?
Yeah.
You're doing warm-up here?
But I will say there are books on comedy.
Well, like Judy Carter and shit like that. But when was the last time you co-headlined with Judy Carter? When was the last time you saw Judy Carter at an improv?
Well,
you haven't. That's my fucking point, okay? So all these people that give you books are written by people that you don't even see do fucking comedy.
Well, Judy is very busy right now.
Doing what? Open up.
No, leave her
alone. Show me what fucking club Judy's at this fucking weekend.
Leave
okay?
Judy alone. She doesn't deserve this.
Judy hasn't worked in 90 fucking years, so things change. Every year, if you're a comic, things change.
Yes,
the rules change.
I agree.
When I got here as a comic, if you did a co-star on a TV show or you recurred, people went to see you on the weekend. Yep. That's it.
Okay.
People signed you, an agent signed you, a manager signed you. They went to the comedy store. Everybody was jumping up and down. People wanted to suck your dick. Boy, is it not like that.
It's the internet now.
And it changes every year. Well, when we got
that
here,
was a big thing.
When we got here, it wasn't the internet.
Well, it became cable, and then it became...
But when you and I got here in 98, you had to go out every night on stage. Mm-hmm. You had to write jokes.
Yep.
You had to go to auditions.
Yeah.
You had to go to Fox and do warm-up.
Yeah.
You went and did warm-up. I went over there with you and did little sketches.
1,000 shows. You were on there tons.
You do all these things as a comic that are completely different. They come first. I remember having a conversation with Mitch Hedberg and him telling me that I write 3 hours a day and I turn the phone off. That's how serious he got about it.
You have to be like Kobe Bryant.
Like Kobe Bryant. And there's so many different aspects that go into being a good comic or a great comic or a mediocre comic. I knew when I was a mediocre comic what I was doing. And now that I'm a little better, I know what I'm doing. And it involves so much. It's like MMA training. You just don't box. You got to do jiu-jitsu 2 days a week. You got to do conditioning 2 days a week. You got to do karate 2 days a week. And then you got to fucking box 2 days a week. Then you got to put it all together and hit wrestling and get your dick sucked. Do radio, do promo. It's a whole process. It's just not getting out.
Laundry.
It's just not getting in your car.
Well, was it hard for you when you stopped having full-time jobs? Like, we talked about it when I first started, and I'm still not great at it yet. I've gotten better. But now that I worked a full-time job from the time I was 16 to now, and I went to school. So I always had something to do during the day. And when I first started doing this full time, I part of it was I was being kind of lazy. I would just watch TV. But now, even when I'm working a lot, I'll feel like I'm being lazy because I'm at my house. And it's hard to fill as much time as you think you should. But also, the schedule is a lot different. So even though I'm not doing stuff at 4, I'll be out until 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So it's a hard transition, I think.
And, for years, I just wrote jokes. It's funny. I always I crack jokes with my buddies in Jersey. They'll call me and we'll have a conversation. I go, I'm working harder now at 51 than I did when I was burglarizing houses. I mean, I'm working harder now when I was burglarizing. When I was young, I was a burglar. I was a part-time burglar. Whoa. Whatever. You do whatever you got to do.
Shocking developments.
But it's so weird how I work. I get up at 5 and I twit and Facebook for an hour, and then I fucking write for an hour in the morning. I set my day up, and then you have the baby. Then my wife takes a shower, and she comes out, and I do something with the baby till 10. Then I do something for an hour, and then she comes back, and I have the baby, And there's writing involved. There's emailing involved. There's talking to agents involved. There's just so much in your day. And I remember when it was just very simple, when you're an open micer, and you get up, right? We get up and go to our job and then meet at the underground. And
it's just crazy in terms of, the internet was a game. For me, it was like cable was a game changer. And then like internet, satellite TV, it turned into TV. It was like turned into 60 channels to 200 channels. And then the internet came on and that blew everything out of the box. So you have that. And then, even though everyone smoked pot tonight. But I also think that we only still have 24 hours in the day. And now you got that 2 hours. That wasn't, when we were in Seattle, that 2 hours of social media wasn't there.
It was not there.
It wasn't there, but a lot of people listening might be like, oh, social media isn't work. It's fun. It's Twitter. It's Facebook. Both of you guys are amazing at social media. And I say that from seeing comics and even not comics who aren't, and how much it hurts their career. Because in reality, Twitter shouldn't be that hard to do, but to stick to it and be good at it, which both of you I think are amazing at it, it's a skill at this point. You guys could be social media coaches if you think about it.
Yeah, you got to be in the game for the most part. I mean, it's fun to do. I like doing it. I just sometimes don't like to hate tweets and when it gets like that. But I think Twitter's great because podcasting, that was another game changer. It was like, I don't think there's any negative with podcasting. It's probably better for a comedian now. I mean, what comedian doesn't like
talking shit?
Right.
I work on this. Every week I sit down, I go, this week I'd like to get Brody on, and me and Lee talk, and Lee will go, hey, how about Brody? And I'll think about Brody and what we'll talk to Brody about and what else comes up, because I don't like them to be topical. I never wanted somebody to listen to this 6 years from now and go, what are these guys talking about? They're talking about today. They're not talking about their lives or how this affects them, and that's why I didn't want it to be topical. I don't want a topical comic of we're going to sit here and make fun of somebody and giggle. I like coming on here and talking about our shortcomings and how we can make them better, or how we could be better as human beings, or, eliminating fear from our lives, I never put that audition on tape. I had an audition for a De Niro movie. I never put it on tape. And I just didn't want to. You ever have that feeling when you just don't want to do something? You look at it and you go, you pre-qualify it, like you write yourself off. But over the last 2 days, I've been thinking that maybe it was a little fear. I just didn't want to deal with it. I just didn't want to deal with all the fucking bullshit. Like, when my agent called them, they said, no, they didn't want to see me. I wasn't the type. Then a week later, they go, all right, let them put it on tape in New York. What the fuck? What the fuck? So it's like, you deal with these things. This is the shit that affects me. Today, I trained with this dude today. It's a badass jiu-jitsu guy. I train with him whenever I'm home, at least twice a week.
Is it a guy named Eddie Bravo?
No. It's a guy named Dave.
Like
I met him at Hegan's, and when I first started going down there, he taught me a lot of jiu-jitsu basics that I had gone to other places and they never taught me. Shit that it's very easy to see that this was the bridge. So today we were doing something. I go, hey, man, I've been practicing these at home. He goes, let me see. And I started doing this jiu-jitsu move for him. And he was like, Joey, when you first fucking came in here, you couldn't even go to that one leg. Now you're throwing me over. And he goes, you did it 4 times in a row. This isn't luck. You're doing this. And I asked him, I go, how did you know about this? And he goes, I didn't. After I saw you one day, I went home and thought about you for 2 nights and thought about why you couldn't do that move. So we worked on that. And it was just your hand and your elbow movement, And he goes, I learned from watching you and breaking it down. You and I have had discussions about comics on Twitter, and that they've had conversations with us. And I've said to you, if they just watch what I do, this would be easy. I don't twit all day. I refuse to twit all day. I got better shit to do than twit all day. I'll give you those 2 hours in the morning. I'll give you those for free. I'll do that all day. But I can't twit every time I go to a restaurant or stop and take a picture. That's why I'm not on Instagram. I can't. I just can't. My day is my day. I live my fucking life. I can't be on there all day twitting cheeseburgers and fucking grilled cheese sandwiches and pictures of black people with handcuffs on. I can't do that shit. Whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making fun of nobody. I'm just saying here that I don't have time for that. I give you what's on my mind in the morning, what eliminates my fear in the morning, what I'm thinking when I'm waking up in the morning, that you don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
I think social media is very important. But then again, I always ask myself, would Richard Pryor go home from the store at 2 in the morning and twit?
Probably not.
But it's 2015. He'd probably have to.
Right.
You understand me? You have to.
You think so?
You have to. We had a guest on the show, a good friend of mine that Lee's become friends with. Big fan of Lee's. Lee's a big fan of his, Ray Cannella. And he worked for Sci-Fi for 20 years. And he told us how he would go home and watch his kids. And he kept going to Sci-Fi saying, guys, TV is changing. I'm watching my kids. They watch shit on demand when they want to, on Netflix and all this shit. You people are missing the boat. And they kept saying, no, you're getting too old. Let's face it. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. We've been friends for 20 fucking years. 5 years ago, we were on the same boat. We didn't have much going on. Well, we were all waiting for the next movie. You know, you had Hangover. You had successes with the Hangovers.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I want to ask you something. Remind me to ask him about the Hangover.
Okay.
Nobody really knew the next move. All of a sudden, these things came.
Podcasting.
You know, when you leave here and you go south, 3 blocks is a Ford dealer. I had applied at that Ford dealer to sell cars. When I moved to the Valley 5 years ago in April, maybe 6 months after that, I had a decision. And the decision was I was going to quit comedy on the road. I was going to do comedy in town. And when one of my friends called me with a movie role or a TV role, I would do it for insurance. But I was done with comedy. And then the fucking Jew hit me up on Facebook and said, do you want to meet? And he had all these ideas, and I would go, slow the fuck down. Whoa, Nelly, I'm an old man. If I stayed that old man, I would have been selling cars. If I didn't take his advice, and then he kept bugging me after I had the Felicia podcast going, do the Felicia podcast, but you got to do something in the mornings. You're twitting, and you got these fucking people on there listening to music and saying to suck my dick, and God's going to help me today, whatever the fuck. So we did the podcast. So I started thinking like a young man. I had to. That's the only way you're going to stay in this game. When you got to the store, remember there was a bunch of older comics? They're not even around anymore.
Why?
Not even one of them. Because they didn't grow. They didn't evolve. Comedy's an evolving game. I wasn't making fun of Judy Brown before. I love Judy Brown. If you go to my fucking house, Judy Brown's comedy book is in my space.
Judy Carter.
Judy Carter. With the fucking tab ripped off it. That's how long I have it. You know how many times I bought the Judy Carter book? 5 or 6 times.
I've got that book.
Jean Perot.
Yep,
How to
for
Write.
writing.
That's what you do. Jean Perot must have had 16 fucking workbooks. I think I did 3 of them, and I would get pissed off at Jean Perot. If I was doing those workbooks today, I would hit Jean Perot on Facebook and tell him I hope his mother gets hit by a train, cocksucker, because I couldn't do those exercises. I couldn't figure out. He used to write for Bob Hope.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you, Jean Perot workshops.
Well, it's just back then, books were the way people found out stuff. So you bought books. Now there's probably a guy doing a comedy podcast, how to do comedy podcast, or how to do comedy YouTube video, and it's just the way it is.
it is that way. But you get these guys. Stand up is about doing it. I don't want to compete against the YouTubers, but I feel like comedy is the real deal.
But YouTube saved me. Listen, Comedy Central's never going to give me a 1 hour. HBO's never going to give me a 1 hour.
Right.
So I got a couple options. What's the matter, Lee? You look, you're going to cry.
No, I'm just high. What's
Either
up?
Netflix gives me a 1 hour, or I got to shoot my 1 hour.
Crackle,
or
Amazon.
Or me and Lee shoot 10 minutes a month, post it every 2 months, and I got my own special on YouTube, which will get more hits than you'll get on Comedy Central, because Comedy Central, they're going to play your special on Friday night.
That's it.
And that's it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's it. And then they're going for DVDs and sales. So if I don't DVR it or whatever, your thing is fucking gone forever. On YouTube, I can publicize it. 10 minutes every 2 months.
And it's yours.
Brody Stevens YouTube page.
You edit it.
You edit it. Brody Stevens YouTube page. And every 60 days, there's a new 10 minutes by Brody Stevens premiere.
And look, I don't have any problem disagreeing with that.
No,
but also the other problem is this warm up. It's energy. You're putting out that crazy energy, and then you also have to go. You know what? I'm on a little roll right now, because if you ask me, I like the internet, but I'm also old school. I get a kick out of getting to be on MLB Network or
Absolutely.
the NFL Network or Fox Sports and those shows. I'm old school. I like that. I know that Funny or Die, and like I said, those internets, they're more, but there's just something about TV. It just makes it, I feel like it's more official. But
what I'm trying to say, I told Lee to remind me about a question I wanted to ask you.
yeah, I'm high too.
I did Spider-Man 2. I did The Longest Shot. And somebody once told me something after The Longest Shot that makes a lot of sense. It's that sometimes we do movies and we don't think we're going to get out of them what we wanted to get out of them. And he goes, these movies go in cultures. I'm very lucky right now. Grudge Match is playing on HBO. And they've been putting it on at 8 o'clock with Ride Along. So it's like Ride Along, Grudge Match, and something else. For me, I need 3 more weeks of that. I need 3 more weeks to Grudge Match to play, because it's free advertising for me for casting people.
Oh, that's what I was getting. I'm sorry.
That's the one sense of it. But did you get what you wanted out of The Hangover 1. As big as the movie was. Biggest movie of the summer. $200 million at the box office. You must be getting some great residual.
Okay, I had some decent ones early on, and once in a while I get it, but it's part of my act. It does feel good, a little bit of validation, or just kind of cool.
Absolutely.
It's a cool little
absolutely.
crutch.
When I did Spider-Man 2,
crutch,
people come up to me and said, "We saw you in Spider-Man 2. It was fucking cool." One line, even I felt cool. I can't lie to you people. I do shit all the time. I don't feel cool. When I did Spider-Man 2, I felt fucking cool. You know, it was a cool movie to do. If you come to me, I'll tell you 10 times the same thing. It was a cool movie. My question is, when you shot The Hangover and you went home, in the back of your mind, between you and I as brothers, I've known you 20 years, did you say to yourself, this is the one that's going to push me over the top? Then the movie comes out, and yeah, your friends come up to you, your mom comes up to you, your agent's proud of you, but did it really push us to where we wanted to go? After I did The Longest Yard, I ain't going to lie to you. Listen, I quit doing blow in 2007, not because I'd been doing blow since 79, but after The Longest Yard, I went into one of the biggest funks in my life because everybody told me, once the movie comes out, you're going to be writing your own ticket. When I didn't, I didn't know how to. I already had a plan to succeed. I didn't have a plan to fail. You know what I'm saying? And that failure made me snort triple the amount of coke, maybe put on 20 more thousand pounds than I had already done. When you did The Hangover, how did you feel?
For me, it was just all bonus. It was all playing with house money. Because I never, ever thought I would be in a movie and I just didn't think so. And even when I shot it, I felt like, okay, I've been in a couple little things. I could tell it was a big movie, and I did it. I stayed professional, but I didn't think it was going to change my career. No, I just wasn't. I come from a baseball background, college, and very structured. So I just kind of play things close to the vest. Even when I knew my TV show that I had on Comedy Central, which is kind of hard to say that, but I did. There's no denying. I felt like that would have given me a boost and helped me push through, and I think it kind of has with the combination of these other things. I've kind of like pushed through to a new level, but I also feel like I'm in the opportunity right now to go even one more level, and then I can quote unquote chill. And I think some of it, honestly, is just getting out of warm up. Like, the thing is, I get mic time, I'm getting paid, I get to perform every day for Comedy Central executives and Funny or Die executives, audiences, the comedians appreciate it. When I did it at Best Damn Sports Show, I never auditioned. I mean, I obviously auditioned for I did for The Hangover, but pretty much I gave up auditioning because I wanted to ingrain myself at Fox Sports, where I would know every executive, everybody involved. And just do the best job I could do. I ended up doing 1,000 shows, and guys who were like, segment producers like Eric Shanks, he runs the whole network now. And, George Greenberg, executive producer, he runs it. I mean, all these guys are there. So it is relationships, and, I went for that. But I feel like now I just got to ride the wave. It's just warm up takes a lot. This particular one's hard.
How many hours does warm up take out of your day? Every day from midnight.
For me, I do 4 shows a week. I'm on the clock for 2 hours straight. From the minute I get out of my car, I walk across the street, and boom, I'm on. I work with the audiences there. I hit them there, and I have to stay on and focus for 2 hours. There's no letdown. And this show is very joke heavy. Joke, energy in and out. It's just high energy. Kind of like how Chelsea was. But Chelsea, had her books coming out. It was a lot of these young girls from, San Diego and Arizona. And it shot over by the beach. And she had just had a ton of fans. And it was just basically it started out with paid audience, but then she just blew up, and then it was just kind of keep the audience under control, warm them up, keep them under control. And it was hard, but I wasn't like beat up after. I'd hang out. It was like I felt good. Whereas this show, It's like I'm trying to do the same thing, but I'm not, though, for different reasons. It's an adult show. It's hard to get adults there at 3:30. You can't get the college groups like I would get at Best Damn. There's just a lot of... So at the end of the day, it takes a lot out of me. And I appreciate it. I like doing it. It feels good. But I'm also seeing that, you know what? I should be podcasting. Imagine if I podcast, took that chance, podcasted, because people, that's all they asked me to do. Podcast, build up my audience. I will go out on the road. I will do that. And I don't hate warm-up. I'll do it. But it's, I think
you're good at it.
I'm good at it.
You're really good at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't not like doing
have you ever
Don't
seen
get
him
me
do
wrong.
warm-up?
Yeah, my girlfriend and I went and saw you in Irvine at the Oddball, and I've been very lucky that I've worked in TV, and I've been able in Los Angeles. I've been able to go to a bunch of TV tapings, and they're fun. But everyone in this room knows how bad canned fake laughter on TV shows sound. There's really bad warm-ups, and if the warm-up's bad, then they're not going to laugh. They're not going to be a good audience for the show, which is super important. And I've seen you there. I've seen you at the Comedy Store a bunch, not doing warm-up there. But it's kind of like how the internet kind of gets looked down upon. Like you said, you enjoy doing live TV better. I think you think warm-up gets looked down upon, but it really shouldn't.
It shouldn't. No, it's a skill. It's definitely a skill, and I see him on stage.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's amazing.
But here's the deal. It's kind of like, maybe I think you were talking about this before. Yeah, you do the warm-up. You're in front of, 115 people, 3... you can be up like Key and Peele and the guys from Reno 911 or whatever. Chris Hardwick, you get all that, but only that's who sees it. You do a podcast, thousands see it.
That's true.
Or hear it, hopefully.
But
so I'm not saying it's wasted in there, but I feel right now I'm at the point where maybe I could put that energy and go for it. But I also know that I'm good at it. I don't not like warm-up. I just can't be beat up. I just feel I'm getting beat up a little bit.
I remember when I first moved here, I would go to shows. I went to Politically Incorrect, and I would see my boy warm up.
Danny Vermont, did he do it there?
Was it Danny? Oh, my God.
Long hair?
Yeah, no, I know who Danny is. It was either Danny or, what's his name?
Robert Lungblade, or a bald guy, or
KB Capara. What's his name? KT?
Chunky B?
No.
KT Tatara?
Katana.
No, he wouldn't have done it. That was a long time
it
ago.
was a long time ago. But I remember there was a guy that I see now from time to time. But the worst warm-up ever was the guy on news radio. Joe and all those guys used to call him Captain Date Rape.
Oh.
Because he looked like a date rape guy. And I remember sitting at the warm-up going, like, what do they pay this guy? I got to get in here.
I mean, that is one thing where...
he was really bad. And then I worked with Brody on the Best Damn Sports Show. And I know Brody a long time. And one day they're micing me. And I've got my back to Brody. Like, I've got my back to the stage. And they're micing me like, they're like, hold on, come on. Like they're doing it in a rush. And I'm hearing him warming up this crowd. But he's not doing the traditional warm-up. He's talking about foot fungus or something. And I'm fucking howling because they're looking at him like, what are you talking? And he's just going off. He's not even looking at them. He's got a football jersey on, a whistle around his neck. And he's talking about foot fungus or something. And me and the girl that was doing the makeup or the mic, whatever, we just looked at him and looked at each other and like, that is fucking amazing. And I could see that I had been to 1,000 tapings. They don't even let you go out in that type of boundaries. They don't even let you go out where you were going as a...
Oh, they let me.
They let him. They let him. Not saying fucking cunt. No.
Keep it clean.
Just very clean. But just talking about something that has nothing... They were so... Like, give me the 3 actors from The Godfather. Like, they were doing quizzes and shit.
No.
It's the biggest thing in this industry is there's very few Craigslist job postings. You get jobs, and you've gotten a bunch of jobs from people you know. So, Brody, you've done a bunch of shows because people ask for you. So that's the best kind of job hunting. If people are asking you to do jobs.
Yeah.
What was your first warm-up? Was it
Best
Zach
Damn Sports Show?
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
But you had Zach in between there.
I did.
On VH1.
Yeah, I did Zach's show. I got fired. The guy thought that... I worked like half the shows. He thought I scared the audience, and it was like Fred forget, Fred Graver. He ran the show. He was like at Travel Channel or something. But he said I scared the audience. But the thing was, the whole audience, it was the same audience from Best Damn Sports Show. You know what I mean? It was like them sitting there. So, but what upset me was I didn't get a note. It just got fired. It's like I'm working with the same guys. I know the audience. How can I scare an audience that knows me? So you could have just given me a note. So then Zach and got it. This is a long. So Zach is, it was a long time ago. But Zach did they tried to get me back, and I did come back, and then I worked some of the shows. Show got canceled. Sorry, Best Damn Sports Show. I got in trouble a couple times there, but for the most part, I stayed with it. 1,000 shows. Chelsea, 400 shows. They left me alone. 7-year run. Ridiculousness leaves me. It's like leave me alone. Wanda Sykes. They got rid of me. They got rid of her.
What show is that?
The Wanda Sykes show.
And you were the warm up for that?
Yeah, I did like 10. I did like 10 shows. Here's the deal. I take care of comedians. It's like I'm focused on taking. Like when at Chelsea, I want to take care of these comedians, and at the end of the day, what does it do for you? It's like, but I know that Kevin Hart knows me. I know that Jeff Dunham from Best Damn Sports Show knows me. I know that if I really need something, I took care of these guys. Whitney Cummings. This is before they had everything. So I didn't do it for that, but that's what drives me. And that's why I feel like I like having the respect of the comedians. But I just fume when the crowd isn't good. It just boils my blood. And it's like not healthy sometimes. But I'm like a coach, like, let's go. And just, it's not easy. But you have to, I'm good at it. But to get there, you can't just, I have to prepare my day. I don't audition. I have to leave. It's like preparation. I have to get up, do the same stuff. That's how hard warm-up is. And then I'm done, and I'm just like wiped out after. Not wiped out, but kind of grinded out for this particular show. I'm that good. I've created something. So I'm not hating on warm-up, don't get me wrong, but I definitely need to be podcasting more. And I know that would be a big difference, and I think I should have a YouTube channel. And that's it. But here's the other thing. In the back of my mind, I'm doing other stuff. I did do MLB Network. I was on a Fox Sports, fantasy football show all year. So it's not like those things aren't happening. So I kind of put my energy into that. Warm-up in TV. I went from doing warm-up in the road. I did everything about my show, and then warm-up came, and then warm-up, and then do the road for my show. And then once the road stopped, still doing warm-up, then I focused on, the Fox Sports and doing the NFL stuff, and then getting a cartoon, put my energy into that. But I think that for 2015, I just need to be, I'd like to figure some things out. There's just, I don't want to get too break behind the scenes, but I'm just not, I know I could be, because I've done the show. I was on a TV show, so I know what it's like to feel good, to work half the time, to put in half of the stress and make twice as much and be seen by thousands. That's what I'm saying. Warm up, 115 people see me. It's a steady paycheck. But I've been on the other side where it's like, wow, I got a dressing room, and they're doing makeup for me. I feel accepted. It's like I can do this, and so I put my energy into that, and my mind has been wandering, just doing so many different things. But
have you ever got
these are good problems. I'm not complaining.
Have you ever got somebody at a show saying, "I saw you do warm up for the show," or have you seen them around the country?
You mean like
audience members who saw you warm up from Minnesota went and saw you when you were in Minnesota?
It happened. Yeah,
That's cool.
Not so much though. Here in LA, I get kids that come up to me that remember me from high school. Their high school. Basically, every high school came into Best Damn Sports Show. Every community college. So living here in LA, kids will come up to me and go, "Hey, I remember you from Best Damn Sports Show. I was in high school."
We did the thing at Loyola. We did it for Best Damn, you and I, over on Sunset Boulevard. There was a school there. And I did the bit about the pine tar. He was going to be on the show that day, so we did the bit on the pine tar. And it was just a fact.
You were great on the show, by the way.
Jelly on everything.
kind of remember.
Yeah. They were great. They, at first it was kind of hard, but then they started. That was my first TV gig. It was 150 an episode.
How many did you do?
You did a lot,
Maybe
like
20 of them, maybe.
maybe even more.
Maybe even more.
But you knocked it out. Joey would come in. This is a live to taping. It's live basically. And Joey, every time, I'm not just saying it, you knocked it out to the point like this guy's good.
Rich Williams is writing.
Rich Williams
The
wrote.
kid with the red hair that's still around. I still see him around. He was a good writer for me. They wrote. I was the non-whatever sports analyst. I was the non-committal sports analyst.
You were great, and then Lonnie Love was the other
Lonnie
one. She was
Love,
on a
she
lot.
was great,
It was like
yeah.
you two, and then the Farley brothers.
The Farley.
That was about it. It was like those are the guys
Those were the
doing
core,
stuff.
yeah.
And you know what? When you're doing warm up, that's another thing. I never, and I think it comes from my baseball background or just kind of being a team sport guy. My mind is so bad. I'm sorry. Like
That's
the whole
okay.
night,
It happens, brother.
I'm talking about pushing guys. Yeah, who knows? I forgot. What does that mean? I'm so like discombobulated recently. It could be because I took a beta blocker, and that's the thing. I'm taking my meds, but the minute you want to like you don't like a Klonopin, which is an anti-anxiety, you take as needed. Like it's like if I don't take just a little bit after a day, I get a little absent-minded and that sort of stuff. And plus, I smoke pot. You got it.
Now, what we talked about this with Greg Fitzsimmons. I've had addictions. I know about weed. I know about mugging people. I know about fucking robbing drug dealers. I don't know about the symptoms that you had. Like, I don't know about really what you had.
It's
What
called
do you suffer
Judaism. Being a Jewish guy, that's what happened. For me,
How stoned are you, Lee?
I'm really stoned.
All right, good.
I mean,
That's what
I'll
we're
give it
talking
to you in a nutshell. Like, I grew up in the Valley, typical divorced Jewish 80s single mother. All right, being a Jewish kid. So my story wasn't really all that different than other kids that had the same exact situation as me. And what I'm saying it wasn't that uncommon. So I did that, but I was still like, I was playing sports, whereas maybe I should have been playing drums, or I should have been maybe doing comedy. I don't know. I did sports because I had a good arm and it was an outlet for me. But looking back on it, maybe I should have done the arts. So when you're doing sports, it's a jock world. There's a reason why a lot of Jews don't play sports. They're sensitive. So you're in that jock world, big nose, hairy, goofy, gay, and it's like got to me. Now here's the thing, I'm not blaming, parents being divorced. If my dad was around, he was an active member in my life. But there is something about having that strong
male presence.
A male presence in your life. So again, my mind is wandering on stuff. But my life wasn't all that different, but I would fight with my sister. I'd and had a Jewish mother. So all the symptoms that make comedians probably great comedians, they come from effed up backgrounds. Mine was, typical, but a little more. My sister, me playing sports. And then I went to college, same thing, getting picked on. And then I went to Seattle, started doing comedy. And I was just like, I just needed something to relax. I didn't always I just wanted to slow my mind down and not be so sensitive. And then I took the med, like a antidepressant up there. And it just kind of it gave me confidence. It gave me like a little buffer to be I felt like to be myself more. Like to be myself and not be so let things hurt me. And then I also felt like it's comedy. It's good to be hurt. That's when I started reading those Judy Carter books and all that. So I felt like and then early on, the guys up there, the comedians, we can go on and name them all, but like Kermit, Todd Sawyer, Rodney Sherwood, whatever, they would, encourage you and say, hey, you're just funny. Keep doing it. It's very supportive, whereas I came from that jock world. And then I went into comedy. It's just so refreshing. And then you get on that merry-go-round with medication. So I took it there, and at first there were like side effects, but I felt like it gave me a little bit of a buffer. I don't know. And then I went to New York, and I really wasn't on anything. And then I felt like maybe I need... And, it's like I'm constantly having my mom, the Jewish stuff. Well, Steven, I want you to be happy. You should go talk to a psychologist. You should do this. It's like, leave me alone. That's the Jewishness. Like, give me a pill. So I took like Ritalin to help me focus, but...
These were all prescribed.
Oh, yeah, nothing illegal. But after 3 years of New York, I just kind of wanted to get out of there. And then I came back to L.A., and that's where, like, when Facebook started coming. So I was feeling pretty good. And then now you're getting inundated with Facebook. You're in L.A., I got to make it. That's where I said I got to get back on, like, an antidepressant. So, and it took the edge off. And then at that point, I just kind of, like, went for it. And then that's when my comedy started taking off again. And it's just hard to get off the meds. It's not like... I would like to be clean, but... or whatever you want to call it. But it's just hard to get off it. So people go like, why don't you get off it? I don't want to feel like the meds made me who I am. I'm still who I am. If they don't make me high. But I'm not on a lot of stuff. I take like 10 milligrams of Lexapro, and I take Lamictal because they tell me to as a backup. And that's it. And I take Klonopin just in case. Like, it seems like sometimes I'll get like a little, I could feel me racing a little bit. Like my palms, and that's probably just the addiction. It's not like I'm nervous about something. It's like, oh, I'm doing Joey's podcast, I'm nervous, or I'm doing a spot. It's like my body physically wanting it. So that's not, that's like I was telling you earlier. It's like I don't want to be relying on that because the situations aren't making me nervous, but sometimes they are. There is a reason why I am taking it. It's like getting those opportunities. I feel like when I'm on TV. If I'm going to be on, like when I was doing Chelsea the last couple, I was taking my meds and I felt like I was more relaxed because that was a stressful show. But I don't need it for warm-up. Sometimes I would take it on the Fox Sports show. But I think there's certain times I take I guess they do work, a beta blocker but I always just, and there's no shame in it. There's no shame.
No. I'd rather you, now when you had your problem last year, 18 months ago.
Yeah.
Did you just stop taking your meds?
Well, kind of, yeah. It was like I was out of warm up, and I was working at Chelsea, and I left kind of on bad terms. I left on bad terms because everything was so great for a while, and I was just shocked when this moment happened to the point where it like shocked me to where I left. But I also knew in the back of my mind that I had an opportunity with HBO and all that. So me leaving wasn't like I was leaving to nothing. I knew I had something.
Right.
But it wasn't like, this is going to make me a millionaire. But I knew I had to give it my all. So anyway, when I left, it just, it hurt because I went from like being in to being out right away. So that hurt. Stayed on my meds. And then I started doing the HBO stuff. And... I felt like I felt like I couldn't drink, I couldn't like enjoy myself. I felt like when you were on Lexapro, if you drink a beer, you get nauseous, and I have to get up in the middle of the night and go and pee, and I didn't want to do that anymore, and I go, I'm feeling good. So then I went to Scotland to perform, and I know I've got the HBO show. I've been doing TMZ. I'm over there. I cut back. I ration my meds a little bit, and I'm feeling fine. Drinking, feeling good. I felt like open, and it just kind of spiraled. And then when I went straight to Montreal, and I got super sick, and they gave me an antibiotic, and I stopped taking my meds. I just couldn't even swallow, but I got the antibiotic. 24 hours, I felt better, and my mind was clear and super open. I was happy, and I remember... people tell me, Brody, celebrate, take a victory lap. You're on you got the show. It got picked up. Aren't you excited? You're getting to host TMZ. You're on the Laugh Factory thing. They love it. So I was hearing all that. Take a victory, and I was feeling good. I wasn't feeling bad. I was feeling good. And then I came back, and it was just I just kept spiraling up. I was not taking my meds. But I came back full of confidence because I did Montreal well. I did well over in Scotland. Or Ireland, never been there. So those were two big things. Hosting TMZ coming up when I came, and I'd already been on like every week for the last month. And then they asked me to host. Had that. had the HBO stuff happening, telling, bro, you're great, take a victory lap. So I came back and I was like all excited, and I think like Zach or my friends were just not, I was out of character. And I agree, it was out of character, and I was irritable, and I was but I was also happy. I was having a typical manic episode. All the markings were there. Check. Delusional, check. Not sleeping, check. Cursing, check. I had it. So I was just, I went on Twitter, and that's the whole social media. Yeah, the whole social media thing, and I was just going on it. And
Joey's life is a manic episode, pretty much.
I was just doing that, and I was out of character. And I was also on an antibiotic, throw that into the mix. It was a perfect storm. And so then I said some silly stuff on Twitter, basically within a 5-day period. It was this whirlwind. And I knew. It wasn't like I could fly.
Who did you go up against on Twitter? Who did you fucking
Well, anybody who was like a jerk to me, in the past. Like Adam Carolla. Like, not him, but I did a show, and his frickin' fans, just 7 pages of comments ripping me. So, F you. You call yourself a stand-up now? So, you're in the ball game. F you. Jim Gaffigan, who was, like, not cool to me one time. Or whatever. Nothing. And I said something. He wasn't not cool, but, maybe I took it the wrong way. It's always been like, we've known each other for a while. So, I kind of lashed out at him. I lashed at Jeff Ross. I was just on a roll. Like, I'm like Charlie Sheen. And the people liked it. I was, like, saying funny stuff. Again, I wasn't, like... I was like wide open. It was like I was on cocaine. And again, it felt good. But I knew I was on a bender. I knew that I needed some kind of intervention or a vacation. But I was just on a roll. Things were happening, but it was too much. And so they took me away. I laugh now. It's like when I got taken away, it was like, once I was in the hospital, like, recuperating, it, like, became, like, funny to me, kind of that it's rock and roll. That's what happens. I goofed up. It wasn't like this is something that happens all the time, like you're here again, or had a drug. Oh, I did have a drug. I stopped. But I had something that, it was just rock. It's almost kind of funny, but not funny. You're going to a hospital. I did not expect it. Nobody ever made jokes that, oh, Brody, you're going to flip out and go to, once in a while. Like, guys, you've heard, Brody's going to come in and shoot somebody. They're not not you, but but you hear about those guys. But
a couple of years ago, we had Rudy Sarzo on, and he was talking about how there's a thin line between mental health and talent. And I go down to the store, and I got to be honest with you. When I first met you 20 years ago, I used to break your balls, And then I took your car.
Oh, my God.
We went to Gig Harbor, and I took your car, and I did 90.
Volvo station
Because you pissed me off. You kept telling me that I couldn't.
You stole his car?
You can't tell me that I can't do something in 2 hours.
Oh.
I could make it here from San Diego in an hour, 20 minutes. When I was snorting coke, I could leave San Diego at 11:45, and I'd get here at 1. And one night we were going to Gig Harbor to do the contest, and he kept telling me I couldn't get to Gig Harbor in a certain amount of time. So I said, get in the back. We put him in the back of his Volvo, and I did 90.
Station wagon.
I did 90
and I mean,
all the way
chicken teriyaki.
This is 1995. The best chicken teriyaki.
Number one teriyaki next door.
The best you've ever had.
Oh, she would cut it with scissors.
The best you've ever had in Seattle, next to the Underground.
Yeah.
I must have had that 7 times.
Oh.
It was $6, $4.
It was great. Chicken teriyaki. Number one. It's called number one.
Number one.
Teriyaki next to the
fucking
Comedy Underground.
Me,
Swannies.
Josh Wolf, and you must have had.
Oh.
I had that.
Get it to go in the little styrofoam.
In a little styrofoam. You could go down to do the comedy and get it.
Oh.
So good. That's all you thought about. Like, do you really want to eat at 6? No, because I'm going to go there at 8 and do the open mic, and I'm just going to go next door and get it.
Yeah.
And Josh, sometimes if you call Josh and said, I'm on my way, he would buy 2 of them. And when you got downstairs, he'd go upstairs and pick them up.
They were good.
Oh, my God. We wouldn't go anywhere without chicken teriyaki, dog. And here, I can't get no chicken teriyaki.
It was good. The sauce.
Oh, the sauce was
everything.
Tremendous. Once you had the sauce, nothing here. Nothing. The one that we go to, the expensive one, is okay, but It's just chicken teriyaki. Like chicken up there was chicken teriyaki.
And it was
the fucking salad.
No fruit. Oh, yeah, the salad.
The fucking salad.
Thank you.
Oh, my God, Lee. The little fucking salad in the
crispy.
Oh, my God.
I can taste it now.
Is it still open?
No, it's gone.
It's gone.
I could taste it now. It had it was like a blue cheese ranch almost.
Oh, my God. It had like this, whatever the fuck they put on it. Whatever they put on it,
was
tastes
great.
good. But the lettuce was crispy.
Yeah.
Like that with
Clean.
the rice. Clean, Bobby.
White rice.
Clean, Bobby.
Who's Bobby?
Bobby Kennedy. Bobby.
It was good. And she would cut it with scissors in the back, like actual like scissors from like Office Depot or
I
whatever.
put sriracha on that motherfucker, on the rice and on the chicken, and mix that motherfucker in with that salad. Good googly moogly.
And it was no frills. It was
No
just
frills.
It was just table and chair.
And it was filthy in there. Filthy. Filthy. Them Japs were filthy.
Some of the best Chinese food I've had has been a B rating.
Yeah, oh please. And the best you'll have is a D rating. When the guy's picking his nose and playing with a mouse from the mousetrap.
The food wasn't all that bad at the Comedy Underground. They had good burgers. Nachos were their thing.
Fucking Lionel.
Lionel was the cook.
The cook.
I remember him.
And we used to steal the big-headed chick's nachos, the transvestite.
Rita O.
Rita O. She'd go, stop it.
Rita O. Al Fox. Chaz Ablin.
Didn't you fight Al Fox? Al Fox was a handicapped kid.
He got mad at me, but he also got mad at you.
Me?
I have it on the video.
He went to war with me.
Don't talk to me the way
He went to war with me, Al Fox. And I call on stage and go, I'm sweating like Al Fox at a disco. Because he couldn't walk. He had like, so
we have it on video where you're like yelling at him. He's getting,
I'll kick your fucking head. He came up to the stage and put his finger in my face. And
this one was in the back. We have it. It was in the where the comedian sat in the back.
In the back,
up there.
back.
That's
yeah.
where it happened.
It's fucking crazy.
That's hysterical.
Comedy Underground was. That's where I got my start doing stand up. That was the spot where I just learned everything about the fundamentals of a 3-man comedy show. Seattle. You're learning about jokes, stage time. Not right down the middle, but good comedians came out of there. It was a good spot to be, don't you think?
I cut my teeth at the original room, but I looked in the mirror at the. That's the first place that featured me. I opened up for Laurie Kilmartin, Labor Day weekend, 1995. The first place ever to offer me a feature spot. So I took, I stayed. I stayed for the contest. It was a mirror. It was a good wake-up call for me. I will never, ever forget my 18 months of comedy in Seattle. It was an education. I learned a lot. The funniest thing that happened to me in Seattle was thinking I had an idea, and then a man by the name of Doug Stanhope came to town. And that Friday night, I nearly stopped doing comedy.
He was that good?
He was one of the best live performances I ever saw in my life on a Friday night. I remember he brought Rico up to do a guest spot.
With the beard.
With this beard on his face, the spider on his face. 1 minute guest spot. A 1 minute guest spot. But I saw Doug Stanhope rip an audience, just do things that night that I never saw a regular stand-up comic do. And I went camping. I was supposed to go see Alanis Morissette the next night on the other side of
the Gorge.
The Gorge. And I said, I ain't paying $65 for Alanis Morissette. I paid $15 for Pink Floyd The Wall. And me and the stripper went camping. And that night she went to bed and I just cried. I was like, I got to do something with my life. Because if I'm not going to be as good as Doug Stanhope, I'm not going to do this. I got to do it like that. That's what I have to do. This shit I'm doing, whatever I'm doing up to now, is done tonight. Monday, when I go back to that open, how big was Mondays and Tuesdays in our lives?
Big.
It was it. Monday and Tuesday was Madison Square Garden to us. That's all. It was your open mic. And Fred was his name? What was the name of the guy?
Carl.
One of the
Carl
best.
Warmhoven ran.
One of the best men you ever meet in your life. Did more for me in comedy. Taught me how to put the there instead of this. Take that fuck and put it over here. Watch what happens to that joke. And I would look at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'd go up there and bam, and then once he made me a believer, I was done. Every Monday I would go up and go, Carl, watch me. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. And he would tell me. And I took it like a man.
He was very pro love comedy.
Loved it. Loved it. Like you, Lee. He loved it. And he knew it. He didn't do it, but he knew it. And I remember one night he called me up and he goes, when are you going? He came down on a Monday night and he goes, what number are you in this list or something? He goes, we have a guest spot tonight. And it was Rick Dukeman.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time ever. And I didn't know who the fuck Rick Dukeman was. He goes, you're going up after Rick. And I went up after Rick, and I didn't know who Rick was, so I killed him. Do you follow me? If I would have known who Rick was, it would have gone into my head, and I would have bombed. I can't follow Rick. The guy does movies. He just did a fucking Bruce Willis movie before this time. I can't follow Rick. He was on the fucking Tonight Show. He's been on Letterman. I'm not going to follow Rick. But I did so well after Rick that I became friends with Rick. So Rick was my mentor when I came to L.A. Rick was the one who got me the meeting with Tom Hanks after The Longest Yard. Rick called me in Houston and said, hey, dog, Tom Hanks is looking for you. You made his kid laugh. That's how good friend that was from Carl Warmenhoven. You know, he's gone now. I think he passed away.
No, he had a stroke.
He did have a stroke.
He's alive as far. I'm
okay,
sure
that's what I heard. I heard he's not doing
him and
well.
Ron Reed ran it. You know that, but that open mic. That's what you did. That's on you. Were there, and then Wednesdays
was 65% of the door. All of us could get a night, so we would all do the show. We'd get the check and go to McCormick.
Oh, one of those deals.
70% of the door. You know, so we got 15 people. We made a little money.
And then Wednesdays would be Tacoma at Crossroads. And it would be a contest. And if you won it, you come back and do like Thursday or
the
Friday.
Next Monday.
Something like that.
I would drive down there with no gas, so I would have to win. And then you got the following Monday, so you picked up another 100 the following Monday. That was big in those days.
Ken ran it, the guy named Ken.
Ken, and the chick.
I forget her name. Susan?
Susan. She's on Facebook.
Like a big girl.
Big girl. She's my friend on Facebook.
She did like SEMA jokes.
Fucking amazing that we were doing that scene. We did
Seattle was great. For me.
Seattle was great for me.
Just coming from Phoenix to Seattle. Those are two opposite cities. You're coming from golf, conservative, to Seattle, rain, open-minded. It was just, I was in heaven as somebody, like, I wanted to jump into that culture, and it was great. I have fantastic, vivid memories of doing shows and hanging out and being in the rain and the fresh air, and I really enjoyed it. But excuse me, the minute I moved to New York, I never looked back. When I went to New York, it was like, that's it.
That's it.
Never thought about Seattle again.
Well, that's what happened to me.
Maybe I'll go back to Seattle when I can relax. I do like it's probably too crowded now. But you told me, Joey's the one guy who told me, he says, Brody, you got to go to New York.
When he told me he was going to New York, I gave him the green light. In life, I said, you have to do it. You're young. You got nothing to lose. You got a little money put away in the bank. Go do your thing. You already were doing the show with Tana.
Yeah.
You had experience. You were in New York. New York. I remember being in L.A. and playing tennis with Doug Stanhope. And one afternoon, as I'm leaving, a kid by the name of Mitch Hedberg pulls me and he goes, hey, I got to ask you some questions. I go, well, come to my house. I got iced tea. Carol, the stripper, used to make sun tea. Mm-hmm. And Mitch was like, I have an opportunity to move to New York. What do you think? And I'm like, what, are you fucking crazy? There's nobody like you. You want to go where there's nobody like you. Why would you want to go where there's 1,000 Jews? And now you got to fight fucking Jews. Well, they're looking for Jews for this movie. You want to go there? They got 1,000 Jews. You want to go where there's no Jews. Then you stick out. So you stick out. Even though you're Jewish, your comedy was going to stick out. Because there was nobody as crazy as you. They were all trying to do something happened on the way to the store. You're up there talking about 7818 forever. So you're a model in Beirut,
I just kept at it, and you have these breakthroughs, and it's also, I always felt like, could I be funny back east? Okay, and I went to Seattle, and I saw, okay, I'm funny in Seattle, and then I was a tour guide at Radio City, and I had every school from like the Eastern Seaboard, high schools, and I was good with that, and then I barked at the Comedy Cellar, and I was good. So that's what New York, it's tough. These guys, it's a tough town. They're tough. I know it's changed now. It's not the same, but I had to go there, and I had to do Lower East Side comedy that went until 2:30 in the morning. Seattle, you're done at 11, but New York is this something raw was there that opened me up. And if you it's like if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I did 3 years, and I felt like, and that was my plan to do 3 years in New York, come back to LA in the year 2000.
Well, I bumped into you in '97 in LA. We went up to Coaching Horses with the chubby blonde.
Yeah, and your apartment.
And the stripper and the apartment. Did you end up fucking her?
I remember. No, who else was there that night?
Carol, me, you, and the blonde. The chubby blonde chick. That was hot. She had big titties.
I don't think I had
shit.
sex.
I left you with her. I said, Brody's going to fuck her in the
she probably left me.
And Culo, I got to ask you something, Brody, because I was talking to a young comic, 25-year-old comic, and I had to give him the talk. The talk about if this is what you're going to do, you got to sit or get off the bowl, and, and blah, 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 on the road and this. And talking to you makes me, I was feeling guilty about giving him the talk, but talking to you on the podcast makes me feel like I did the right thing because it's an experience at every level. When you're 25, if you have to go to New York for 3 years to do comedy, you're not missing nothing, Lee. That's a fucking stripe. That's like me sending you to Ranger School. Lee, you go to Ranger School. I really don't want it. What are you talking about? You can learn how to shoot motherfuckers in the head from 50 yards away with a gun and then learn how to open up cans of tuna fish with no fucking can opener. You're going to learn shit. And, this is the thing with comedy. You just learn. You just adapt. Did I get something from those 6-month tours I used to do by myself on a Greyhound bus with strippers and going to Toronto we discussed last week? Sure, I got something. I built character. I built a certain confidence that you can't take away. You keep talking about these YouTube guys. I feel at times like I'm a YouTube guy. But you know what the difference than me being a YouTube guy and half these other guys? I got legs to back it. I've got a spine to back it, a comedy spine to back it. You can't take nothing away from me on stage. You could take away my IMDb page. You could take that away. I could take away your HBO show. I could zap it, that it was never even existed. But I can't take away your stand-up. I can't take away the effort you put into that. That's always going to be there. This story I told, I asked, what's his name? Why did the singer from Guns N' Roses go crazy? Sometimes people can't digest the success.
Off his lecture,
yeah,
turkey.
Probably. They can't absorb the success. Whatever comes my way, I could absorb it because I did the work.
And I'll tell you what, like I do tell comedians this, and you told me, and it's go away. You would say like leave LA for 6 months and come back, and they'll see that growth. You're gonna grow by doing the road or wherever you go, and then come back. If you're there too much, you're at the Comedy Store too much. They don't see the growth.
They don't see it.
There probably isn't much anyway.
And if you're hanging around, they don't see it. With your nose wide open. You can't do that. You have to become a commodity. You have to become like, they want to do business with you. One thing I didn't know about LA is you have to make them seem like they want to do business with you. That's it. Everything else is background music.
This is the major leagues.
That's
what I tell.
That's what Joey says all the time.
This is it. What's the number? I heard an expression the other day I hadn't heard since I was a kid. And it's a baseball term. And this baseball term...
Home run.
No.
Strikeout.
No. Everything's real in the field.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Oh, my God. When I was a kid, that's all...
Everything's real in the field.
Everything's real in the field. That's it. That's a baseball expression. Everything's real in the field.
New to me.
And
I like it.
This is it. Everything's real in this field. This is the major leagues. You come here, both your guns got to be together. You got to have bullets in there. Your guns got to be clean.
People skills.
Your shoes got to be shined. Your fucking spurs got to be ready to show up somebody's ass. And I see how many people have come and gone since you've been here. I ask every guest comedy-wise, how many stars have come to this town that have come up to you and said, I'm a regular at the Laugh Factory Improv and Comedy Store. I'm going to Montreal. I just signed with 3 Arts and Dave Becky. I'm with Gersh. And where are they today? How many people?
Well,
and you're still here.
I look at the positives. I mean, this is what I say. I tell these comedians. It's like you see a couple guys, they're like living in the 80s. They come to the comedy store. Nobody knows them. They hang out. They may have done like a couple shows in North Carolina or in Houston, whatever, And then they come to LA and they hang out at the Comedy Store, and it's like, I understand like going here and checking it out, but don't come to the Comedy Store until you're invited. I think is a good thing until you're like asked to come there, and then you gotta do the road. Go to Chicago, go to New York. Don't come straight here. I don't think not that there isn't the exceptions and things have changed.
Are you guys glad you didn't start here or New York?
I'm glad that I left.
I'm glad that I started in Denver. I'm glad that I came here and that I grew here as a feature actor, become a
You
headliner.
can grow in LA.
You can grow in LA. And you will, listen, as soon as you walk into the Improv, as soon as you walk into the Laugh Factory or the Comedy Store, compared to your hometown, you're going to grow. You're going to grow just because the competition's more fierce. You're going to grow a little bit. It pushes you a little bit. If you do a set at the Ha-Ha, or if you do a set at the Comedy Store, it's two different sets. You feel differently before both sets.
Yeah.
At the Ha-Ha, you don't go, who's going to be in Burbank? Mickey Mouse.
I mean, the Comedy Store original room is a tough room.
It's the toughest room in the world.
It's
hard.
The
easiest room in the world. When you're flowing, it's a great room. But now those lineups are killers rows. Everybody who has to follow everybody has got a fucking problem. It's not like there were holes in the, years ago there was like a fucking hole here, or they throw like a broad at 10:15. Those days are done. There's not a week. Argus is the weakest thing on the fucking chain, and that's 9 to 9:15. Once 9:15 comes,
I mean, I could be out.
Because no, you're in. You're in that lineup. You got Ian Edwards, you got Tony Hinchcliffe, you got Gerard Carmichael. I've seen Rob Schneider. I've
David
seen Sarah
Spade,
Silverman,
Louis C.K.,
Louis C.K.'s been showing up, Chris Rock's
Dave
been
Chappelle.
These fucking lineups have
one weigh-in brother.
Oh, thank God. Both of them don't show up with the hats with the Asian chicks. Listen, bro, it's 8:30. You said you want to rush. If you want to stay, you're always family. I want to be around, brother. It's Monday afternoon. What the fuck?
Let's do a few more minutes.
A few more minutes.
Let's do
this shit.
Because, when I say you can grow here in LA, I got warm. I mean, I got warm up. I'm different. I'm an anomaly. I'm an anomaly.
Pick up the pieces when somebody breaks your heart.
Is this Dean Martin?
This is
Tony Bennet.
Tony Bennet. Better.
Oh. Is this a duet with Lady Gaga?
Solo.
He's hip.
He's trying to be.
Yeah, I was a little absent-minded early on, and then I got comfortable. And I'm happy with the podcast. It feels good.
This is family. We're here. This is it. This is not even a podcast. This is two Jews and a Cuban having a conversation about life.
But when I say you could grow, I feel like here in LA, the crowds are pretty good. They might be a little cheesebally at some places, but for the most part, they're supportive. They're like they go in New York. Yeah, they are tough. You're going to be cranking out jokes, stand up tight in New York, but you can also out here, you can grow. It's like a spirit, it's a care. I know it sounds corny, but there is something to like the energy here, the wherever it is, the mountains, the sea, that allows for like, those kind of freedoms that I take on stage and do these little energy things. There is something to it. Like people talk about networking and yoga. There is something to that. And then you tie in a little bit of a baseball sports regimented, spring training, take 500 swings. Everything's just over and over, like Kobe Bryant, over and over and over, like John Wooden. Preparation. So you combine the two, you can work on stuff. Like I'm working on a lot of stuff, but that's a thing that I look at 2015. Doing a lot of different things. Maybe I can tighten up and be smarter. But you know what? I got a great reputation. I'm happy. It's fun to go out, and I don't mind having.
You're out 7 nights a week.
4 to 5.
4 to 5. What do you do the other 2 nights? Read.
You know what I've been doing? I have been taking it easy. I try to get my naps in. When I do have off time, and I haven't much because I've done the road quite a bit the last year, but I'll go down to my mom and I'll help. And it's like, I guess that's off time, but it's not really. So
no, it's not. No,
it's not. And when I unplug, I really try to unplug and just nap and get super lazy and just let my battery drain.
Right, yeah.
And
Netflix. You sit in front of. Listen, for you to grow and to write, sometimes you have to get entertained. Sometimes those Jew mothers, they're pretty fucking funny.
That's true.
You know, you get a kick out of it.
Well, you get inspired.
Just entertaining, just watching somebody else. You know, I was telling this Dave guy today, I go, that I was having a hard time with jiu-jitsu. You know, I'm 51, I'm a fat fuck. It's not for everybody, but you try. And I wasn't making the growth I was getting. But I go, you don't understand why I go to jiu-jitsu. I don't go to jiu-jitsu for what most people go to. I go to jiu-jitsu because I'm hoping that none of you guys know I'm a stand-up comic. I'm hoping that all of you just think I'm an old fat fuck. Because that's all I want to be in here. I leave my cell phone in the car. I want to come in here. I want you guys to choke me. I want to sweat like an animal. And I just want to leave. That 1 hour, to me, is rest. When I don't have to think of anything. When I see Lee, we goof on each other. Lee, the Mexican, the Cuban, the cat. But after 3 minutes, we go to business. When I see you, how you feeling? You know, I love you, Brody. Everything all right? We talk about business. There's times I don't want to talk about this shit. I want to talk about arm bars. I want to talk about how come I can't do this or how come I can't.
Well, that's what baseball does for me.
Right,
That's what playing catch and throwing bullpens and that's why I like baseball. Oh, it's boring and this and that. You know, maybe it is. But if you're have some skill or you could be a pitcher and get a great workout. Throwing batting practice is a great workout. But I go out to the park. My friends, coach in the major leagues. So
yeah, you got to go in the dugout at Wrigley.
Oh, yeah.
That must have been cool.
I've had a lot of great opportunities to check out fields.
I always wanted to go to Wrigley.
But there's just nothing like throwing the ball and pop right to the chest and the glove popping and boom. It's like, for me, that's something I really enjoy. And I wish I could do that more. I just need to be proactive. And part of it is like, I am on a roll right now, and I kind of... But maybe they're excuses. I don't know. Maybe on my body, I'm just not into that either. It's okay if I'm not driven to do it, but there is something to getting it going and getting those endorphins. And I feel like that's another thing. Like, since I had my quote-unquote breakdown, I've been careful not to take too much caffeine and be edgy, especially like a workout pill. Be getting like road rage at times.
You don't go to Starbucks no more?
I do. No, I mean, I can do a coffee or two a day. But any type of when you would take a workout pill, it helps you work out. You get the caffeine, the guarana. It's like 20 minutes later, you want to do your kettlebells, get all that in. If you don't take that, you got to really push yourself. So
You take energy pills?
not really. I'm just like slowly getting back into Red Bull, or like I did a 5-hour energy shot. It does clear my head.
People have shot me those things, the energy stuff before workouts, and they make me too edgy. I get in too bad of a mood.
But if I'm working out, I could pitch angry. I could lift weights angry. I can't do comedy angry. So sometimes, there's residual effect, and I just got, I just don't want to be edgy. I could lose my job screaming at an audience, losing it. But, it's just hard, it's like I stretch. Stretching doesn't take energy. I've been able to elongate my muscles. I mean, honestly, it does feel good every day for people going, oh, Brody, you're in good shape. Or like, you're a big guy. Jesus. So, I do enjoy going out and going to Starbucks. And
do you time that?
Do you fart all the time on
No,
this?
Yes, he does.
Well, every like 4 episodes, like I guess, So you got to include it in the podcast.
Did the mic pick it up? Did you
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
How could I not? We have to replace that chair pretty soon.
But you don't smell it.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. It don't smell. It doesn't.
I haven't smelled.
No.
I haven't smelled it.
No,
yet.
no. It's an air fart. It's
I've been in the car with you with the windows up. It smells.
I mean, like
Everyone
a little
smells.
bit, but not right now. This is just.
Do you take fiber, psyllium husk?
Oh, please.
I do that
Every day?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I take glucosamine. I take Honey Nut Cheerios.
You work out a lot, Brody. Does working out make you not shit? Because ever since I've been working out, like, I don't crap that much. I have to take fiber now.
I don't think I think taking fiber helps me, keeps me regular, and I feel like...
I never had to do that, but I was like, Jesus
Look
Christ.
at the shape of your
I'm
eyeballs.
fucked up, Joe. That's not fun.
What? The shape of the what?
He gave me a huge edible.
I gave him 35 milligrams of
Which is
Chiba
fucking a
Chew.
lot.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
Chiba Chews. Are those popular?
Yeah, they're the best.
My friend is involved with them.
Nice. What does he do for them?
I can't talk about it.
Sure you can. We get them. We know the guy from marketing and shit.
What's his name?
I have no idea. Why no names? What do you know what's his names for? I just
He
know.
just shows up at shows.
Yeah, he
with
just
bags
shows up a
full
show
of-
with bags filled with
I haven't done edibles for a while.
That's
ever.
your problem.
Should I do them?
Fuck
Oh, no.
yeah.
Do some people do edibles every day? Like wake up and do a little bit?
Every day. I did them through Hanukkah. This fucking gugutz.
Joey has a
I lit the
dispenser
candle
edibles.
and then fucking did an
Did you get paranoid at all with certain
Sometimes
ones?
that's part of the fucking whole program. That's part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, my brother.
He gave it to me on Christmas Eve, and I had to go to my in-laws' house with their 2 little kids running around talking about video games.
Yeah, I've only had one experience. I've done edibles, and like only one time I felt like it did something for me. It was a brownie. I don't know what was in it, but it was.
I got a
like,
cookie at
cool.
the house that'll do something to you so deep.
But when do you? I'm afraid to take it. Do I take it on a day off? Do I take it?
Take it on a week off.
Take it when life is around. People like this fucking gugutz. I've been trying to tell them, you eat one and you go mingle. And you go live your life with
There's no
people and get on the
mingling on
fucking
this.
exercise bike and shit. He don't do it.
Do you ever go out and like smoke pot and then you'll, let's say you take a hit or whatever, and then you go out to run get coffee or whatever.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, and you take a hit and then bad things happen. Do you know what I mean? Like
What?
Just like a car cutting you off, or I always feel like sometimes when I'm high, it's like a yin yang. It's like, okay, you get to be high, but the drawback is you're going to pull in some negative energy. I feel like sometimes,
Really?
like, yeah.
No, don't think that way.
Well, but that's what happens. I'll smoke pot and I go, some negative. I'm not saying because of the pot, but it pulls in some negativity. Like
It pulls in comedy.
I don't
That's what it pulls
I
in.
don't disagree with that.
It looks like negative energy, but you gotta. That's your opportunity to write a joke or write it out, and you go, "Oh, that was the universe throwing me a tidbit."
Yeah. No, but like you have bad luck. Oh, this guy's cutting me off. Why am I behind this car? Oh, they messed up my. You're not complaining, but you're like looking for the negative. It's like a negative energy.
Look at the shape of this fucking guy. How are you gonna go home to Paul
Oh, it's gonna be bad. I'm gonna stop at Subway.
and do what?
Get sandwiches.
How many
Get a
calories
sandwich.
you got left?
Not
Joey.
much, like 500.
I got to run over the hill.
Do your thing. We're
Okay.
gonna finish this without you.
Thank
know I
you,
love
guys.
you, man. Happy
Positive
New Year.
push.
You got any
Yes.
dates coming up?
No, I've been single for a while.
No. Fuck
Oh.
comedy dates. You fuck.
Oh.
You say I got to deal with?
I will. I'm in town in LA. I usually do the Comedy Store. I'm doing the Improv tonight as well. You can see me at midnight doing audience warm up during the week, and then I'll be in Chicago for the Cubs convention in January. I'm also doing La Jolla in February, and got some. Who knows what's going to pop up? But
I got to tell you something. Over the last couple of years, you've become one of my favorites as a human being. I love you with all my heart. Thank you very much for doing this, Lee.
thank you very much.
Asked me to ask you because
Thank
he's
you, Lee.
Jewish and he
Thank
loves
you,
you.
Lee.
So
Thank you.
thank you
Joey.
very much. I'll see you at the store
I'll be there
this weekend.
Thank
this
you.
week. Thank you for coming in. Take a water with you. I don't want you to be parched.
You got it. May God bless you.
Let me give some shout outs to some beautiful fucking people. My main man, Bobby Sharon, and his girlfriend, the official Chinaman from the fucking church, Chung K. Kennedy. I love this motherfucker. Oscar Nunez, I didn't see him in Miami last time. He hid from me, but I'll see you next time, cocksucker. Shane Mills, Ricardo Perez, congratulations on the job. Greg Powers and Lynn, we love you. We fucking love you. You're one of the church people. You're the officials. My man Jay Bennet, Lady Ranicorn, and Biff Swahili. I don't fucking know what your name is, cocksucker. What's up there, Lisa? How you feeling, my little brother of death? All right?
I'm good. I'm super high.
One more time, my main man, Brody Stevens. You gonna clap or you gonna leave me like a one-armed fucking soldier here, cocksucker? Making an appearance tonight on the Church of What's Happening Now. It's fucking New Year's week, cocksuckers. Make your resolutions, set your goals for the new year, and what you want to do. This is how you do it. A man without a plan is not a fucking man. It all starts this week, right now. You should be looking at that notebook. Go to fucking CVS, buy yourself a one-subject notebook. Go to the back and write your goals out for the year, what you want, how you're going to get there. And that's all we got. You know what I'm saying, Lisa? What's up with you, baby boy?
I feel you, buddy. I'm high as
Did you have a
fuck.
nice Christmas holiday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
I'm happy.
Paula got me a PlayStation.
She did?
Yeah.
And did it get zapped the other night? Didn't they?
I don't really play that much online, but yeah, I couldn't get on.
You couldn't get on?
No, but I
So this PlayStation, what does this mean? That you're going to sit on your ass more?
hell yeah.
This is what this means? And what games do you have?
She got me Grand Theft Auto. I bought the UFC game, and her brother got me a couple Modern Warfare games, I think.
No shit.
Yeah.
All right.
I've only played the Grand Theft Auto. I play for like a week, and then I get bored a little bit. But I don't know, man. I'm fucked up.
Good. What are your plans for the week, brother? You gonna work out tomorrow?
Yeah, I gotta work out. Not much. I don't know when we're doing the other one of these, and then we have Wednesday. I have a podcast Tuesday. I don't know. I'm really interested to see. We were talking about the interview, and I'm cutting cable like in the next 2 weeks because the last playoff game was today, and like it's just interesting to see all the new stuff we can watch, and like with Iron Dragon TV, I'm kind of scared to cut cable, but it's kind of cool.
I was telling Lee this weekend that we had a fucked up week this week with one of the cats. You know, last Monday I come home some nights and I like staying up late. And I like staying up late. I take a notebook with me and I bring some weed in the living room and I make some coffee and I smoke a hit e-cig, the cigar, and I make notes. But I basically stay up past midnight because the cats come to and I watch them playing, especially Harry and Dimmy and Superbad. They fucking play rough at night, you know, and Dimmy, Harry and Superbad are always a fucking war. But Fidel's my oldest. He tortures him. Fidel could kill Dimmy on any given day of the week.
Yeah.
But he lets Dimmy fuck with him. And I saw Dimmy fucking with him, like Dimmy will I could see it, and you people at home are like, what the fuck are you saying, Joey? You know what I'm saying? The two cats staring at each other, and then the other day, Fidel jumped on Dimmy and fucked him up, right?
Yeah.
And then he went after Harry, but Fidel's not a bad soul. Fidel's not hitting you to beat you up. Fidel's just hitting you to stick up for himself.
Fidel freaked me out one of the first times I got high at your house.
Really?
You went to take a shower, and he chased me around the coffee table because he just looks at you and meows at you. It's freaky.
He's really pretty. He's really pretty, and he's really got a good heart. So that happened Monday night. But I said to him Monday night, Fidel, stop it. And he came over and jumped and started with his meow because he loves to fucking meow you. So I hugged him there, and I was watching TV, and I was looking at his eyes. They're almondy. And then Wednesday morning, which was Christmas Eve morning or Christmas Day morning?
Okay.
Christmas Eve.
No, because we did podcast Tuesday on Christmas Eve.
Okay, well, whatever the fuck it was. Fuck all. I'm telling you, New Year's Eve is Wednesday. It was Christmas Eve, Wednesday morning. So I got up and I opened the door and Fidel was by the gate meowing. And I go, fucking Fidel, because it was like 5:30 in the morning. He's meowing loud by the babies. So I ran out.